to the weekly update of Sunflower Land. This one is very exciting. We have actually launched on testnet, and today I'm actually going to walk you through what's changed in the last week and go over some of the beta roadmap and how it's going to look for those who are beta testing, when the tokens will go live, and that entire roadmap that's coming out. Great. What you are looking at right now is the testnet version of Sunflower Land. So this is actually live right now. We've got developers, artists, and testers playing around with this, and I'm going to walk you through creating a farm and actually playing the game. It's very important that anything that you earn on testnet will not become available on mainnet. If you farm tokens, if you craft items, these are purely for testing right now. And so people are just playing around right now to improve the game and actually work on it. You feel free to jump in the devs chat and actually reach out and start testing yourself if you're interested. And so I'll take you through the process here of creating a farm. So Spencer's been working hard on a nice onboarding screen for players. And the first thing you notice is that it's still donate to play. This time the team does need to take a fee. We've got a lot of architecture, we've got off-chain solution, and we need to be able to fund this project. And so the one key difference from starting a farm in Sunflower Farmers, which was 0.1 Matic, is that now it is 1 Matic that you're donating to the team, donating to the project, and 10% of this is still going to the charity of your choice. So I'll select the water project. The goblin will carry my tokens, my Matic, off to MetaMask, which will sign this transaction and send it off. So I'm on testnet right now, and so this is just testnet Matic. On mainnet, you will need the mainnet Matic token. This is the one that most people are familiar with, the Polygon token. So I'll confirm this, and what's happening now is that in the background, a farm NFT is actually being minted against your account. In the old version, you didn't have an NFT or anything that you could transfer or sell or buy. In the new version, when you create a farm, you actually get an NFT. And you can see here, I've just minted the 53rd NFT. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna jump in this farm and check it out. When you interact here, you sign a request here. This doesn't cost any gas fees. It is just a unique way to actually identify who is playing this game. So you can see I'm using this testnet wallet address, and I'm using my farm ID. So you can jump in here and you can start playing around. You can start planting things. You can buy seeds. You can sell seeds. You can explore the map that Cianades has created. All the artists have been working very hard on this, and you can actually go around and get a look and feel of what sort of features, what resources are going to be coming out in Sunflower Land. It's worth calling out here that if you do try to access something like syncing on chain or withdrawing, this is not going to work in testnet. It won't even work in the initial stages of beta as well. Down here as well, you can see that there is an address here, and this is different to what your MetaMask address is. And so when an NFT is created, so this farm ID 53, we also allocate a unique address on the blockchain that is associated to that farm. And so when you farm tokens, when you craft items, when you're playing the game, all of these are actually going to the custody of the farm you own. And so this is a unique strategy that actually helps you whenever you do create resources, collect them. It's actually associated with your farm, and you're building out this NFT farm, expanding it, making it more valuable. And this is good because if you want to sell it or if you want to transfer it to someone else, it'll include all those items that you've actually built up on that farm. And now I'm just going to I'll let you explore this in your own time, and I'm going to jump over and start explaining some of how the beta stage and the beta release and the public release is going to be working. there's been quite a lot of questions lately around the beta, the testnet, who gets access, how are the tokens working, and so I'm just going to dive into this quickly. And if you have any other questions, we can jump on Discord and we can follow up there. And so the main thing right now is that we're in testnet mode. You can go in, you can test it, but anything you earn is actually not going to be carried over to mainnet. It is purely for testing purposes. When we launch beta in 2 weeks, that will be an off-chain solution. And so for that closed group of beta testers, we've got about 50 people. They will be able to create their farm NFT. That'll be the actual farm NFT that will always be used. They will need to make that one Matic contribution to play. But any of those tokens, assets, anything that they craft, that is just being stored in the off-chain solution. And so the token will not be deployed. The inventory items, the NFTs, the resources, those contracts won't be deployed during beta testing. This first week or two, it is work for the beta testers. The purpose isn't to go in and try get a head start on earning tokens. They'll be trying to break the game. They'll be trying to make improvements. There'll be confusing parts in there that they'll get stuck on. They'll get stuck on bugs. And the idea there is that they give as much feedback as possible. So at the end of those 2 weeks, we have a really solid and polished game for everyone else to start playing. Yeah, anything that you did have from V1, the Sunflower Farmers token, the items, if you had those within the grace period that we announced, you will be able to get those during beta. And once we launch those contracts, you'll be able to transfer those assets, including the tokens, the NFTs, any of those items on chain. And so that will happen once we go live. There will be, so once we have that closed beta testing group, there will be a few days after when we open the extended beta up to all the people, everyone on Discord and people that signed up for the email beta testing. And that will be a few days before it goes live to the public. And during this time, the token will be launched, the inventory will be launched, and you will be able to save onto the blockchain. And so you will be the first few people that will get access to minting some of these items and putting your tokens onto the blockchain, which is super exciting. In terms of, there's been a few questions around the halvening and when that will start. And so obviously when this new token is launched, the total supply is going to be 0 as everyone migrates onto the system, starts their farms, and starts transferring their assets on chain again. And so when the game is launched, we are going to start at the threshold that was previously in Sunflower Farms. We're around 4 million total supply. And so we're going to assume that the crop prices, the seed prices, they start at that 1 million mark. And so even though the supply will be 0, we're going to assume as if we already had 1 million tokens in circulation, and the prices will be the same that they were before. And this is just to not disadvantage anyone that was early in Sunflower Farmers and people that did get those early rewards for being early adopters. And so we just have to respect those people. And yeah, once we launch it to the public, at that point then we are going to turn on the ability that you can craft. If you want to craft the new items, you can craft them, mint your items, mint your tokens, mint your NFTs, and that is only going to be available once we launch to the public. We don't think it's fair if we have a bunch of golden cauliflowers and before we even launch to the public, people that were in beta just swoop them up. And so during beta, you can only collect resources, but you can't actually craft items. And so what will probably happen is that during beta, people will start collecting those resources that they need to craft those. And when that public launch happens, you just have to be the first in there, make sure you have your ingredients and ready to go. And so yeah, that's the end. Once we get that public launch live, you'll be farming, you'll be saving to the blockchain. You won't be able to withdraw from your farm yet. And so we're going to let people start playing the game there, but we need to build out the wishing well, the liquidity, a few more things before we let everyone just withdraw tokens from their farm. And so things like that, gold, wood, stone, those will just be coming sort of weekly. We'll be doing updates and getting things out there. We don't want to hold the community for another month or 2 months while we build these features. We want to release something as soon as possible and then start adding all these features, these resources, these NFTs. And so yeah, I'm just going through some questions. When the contracts will be deployed, that is when that open beta for Discord and the email invites go live. The token contract and the inventory, the items, those will go live then. NFT supplies, will they change? The NFT total supplies will remain the same. And so if there was 2,000 chicken coops in Sunflower Farmers, there's only going to be 2,000 in Sunflower Land. The price might change of some of these items. We're going to fine tune that. And so it might cost a little bit less gold to get a chicken coop this time around, but it'll still be the same difficulty that you need. Gold is going to be a lot more scarcer in this new system. And so we'll probably make it easier or require less gold for those gold recipes. And the farm NFT address, I think that's a good one to point out. Your NFT has an address on the blockchain that is different to your wallet's address. And so if you do acquire Sunflower Land tokens or NFTs and they're sitting in one of your wallets, you need to send that to your farm's address for it to show up on your farm for you to use it in the game. And likewise, when you want to withdraw, you're taking those assets away from your farm NFT and you'll send them to a personal wallet where you can transfer them, you can list them on secondary markets if you wish. And that's about it. We've got a lot of cool features that'll just be coming out weekly after there, but we just want to get something out there, get people playing again, give the community what they've been patiently waiting for. And so that's it for this week's update. I hope there's been a lot of questions answered. Anything else, jump in the Discord and hopefully we can do a bit more of a Q&A next week as well. Great. Have a good week.